When I wasn't profitable, I decided to quit my job and I wasn't funded. I wasn't profitable. I had a little bit of savings and I decided to quit my job and trade full time. I was like, yeah, I know what I'm doing. I got it from here. It was horrendous. It was really bad.
Not easy. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the TFT podcast. I'm your host, Lorenzo. Today, I'm here with Nehal.
Hi, Lorenzo. How are you?
Thanks for coming on the pod.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So just to let you guys know, Nehal has made over $25,000 in payouts. She's also very new to TFT. It's only been 3 months, you said.
Yeah, I'm new to TFT, but I'm not new to trading. Been trading for 5 years, profitable for 3. So yeah, it's been a journey.
Let's just start from the beginning. Where did you even learn about the markets?
So I had a friend who was a trader, and then I approached them. I was like, "What is this? I see your charts all the time." That was back in 2018. I was still a freshman in college. And at that time, the most famous trading platform was IML. I don't know if you guys know IML.
Knows IML. Yeah, for sure.
And you get sold that dream that you're going to be profitable in 90 days and make all that money. So did that. Didn't really find any consistency at all. Of course,
they were teaching you in IML?
Yeah, yes and no. There were videos, but I really didn't know what I was doing at all. And I would pull up the charts, but I have no clue what's happening. And then obviously went the route of signals and tried that. Didn't work.
Their signals were
horrendous.
Damn.
Yeah. I
don't even know. Why are they even sending signals at that point?
Yeah, no, it was a journey. And then fast forward 2020, I saw everyone getting laid off from their jobs after after being there for years and years. So I was like, okay, that's it. I'm taking this seriously because
it just shows you these companies, they don't care. They don't care about you.
Exactly. And just
You're
imagine,
replaceable to them.
For sure. Just imagine wasting 7, 8, 10 years of your life and then one phone call, sorry, we don't need you anymore. So that's why I was like, okay, I'm going to make my own money and I'm going to go from there. And like I said, it's been a journey. It's been amazing.
Before Forex though, what was your plan? What was the goal?
So I was in college. I have a bachelor's in economics. So I was thinking I would be a financial advisor or
so it was always money for you.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Or a business consultant. But yeah.
When did you realize you wanted to deal with money? When did you realize you had that skill?
I think early on, I come from a family that's full of entrepreneurs. My dad has always been my dad is a real estate investor. So I got all my inspiration from him. He's always worked so hard for his money. So I kind of grew up around the mentality that you have to do something for yourself in order to succeed in life. So that has always been my mindset growing up.
Where are you from, by the way? You came here from Orlando, you said?
From Orlando, born in Egypt, raised in Virginia, moved to Orlando.
Cool.
Yeah.
How was Virginia?
Virginia is awesome. Just moved here because, needed to jumpstart my business and get a couple things done here in Orlando. It's been great. But like I said, I grew up in Virginia, schools in Virginia. So
nice.
Yeah.
How long you been in Orlando?
Approaching 2 years.
Nice.
Yeah.
You like it?
Florida's interesting.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Yeah, Florida's very interesting.
What's the weirdest thing you've seen?
I see weird people all the time. I don't judge anyone. It's just the vibe's very different, and I never lived dead center downtown before, and now I do. So it's really different. And I think
downtown is usually where a lot of homeless people just stay in downtown of major cities, right?
Yeah, it's not too bad in Orlando though.
Okay,
yeah,
good.
It's not too bad. But as I just get older, I think I appreciate silence and being in quiet areas a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So your friend that taught you about trading, were they actually making money or were they just looking at the charts, just trying to make it, trying to learn?
They were making money. I kind of joined under them and
IML.
IML. I think it was like if you bring 2 people or more, you get like that $200 membership.
Three people, it's free. Right?
Was it that?
It's always a 3 and free for sure.
Yeah, and I honestly like did it for a couple months, then like stopped signing up, and then signed up again, and then I really don't know what happened to IML after that. After I left, I just didn't care enough to like look into it. Yeah.
And is your friend still trading?
Yes.
How's it going for them?
I don't talk to them as much anymore, but I think it's going great. Yeah, I mean, they back in 2018, I think they had already put like 2 years into it, so they were doing it for 2 years before me, and yeah.
So 5 years you've been exposed to the markets. You said in year 3 you became profitable.
Yeah.
What was that like? How did you just become profitable? Tell us.
A lot of trial and error. I lost so much money. It's crazy. Yeah, because like my biggest issue has always been. No. I would have stop loss, but like it hit stop loss and it re-enter right away. So
okay.
Yeah, that was my biggest issue always. Over leveraging was like a really, really big issue for me. And then revenge trading. Oh my God, I was the worst. So,
it's like the emotional part of it seems like.
It is, yeah. And I feel like you just get to a point where you're really tired of repeating the same mistake. Because for some reason, when you're doing those mistakes, you're just thinking that a different outcome is going to happen, and like how you're really not changing.
So you just took the
variables.
same trade that just lost. Like, why are you jumping in?
Yeah, and like you start every Sunday, you're like, I promised myself I'm going to do better this time, and then it's like the same mistake over and over. But journaling has helped me so much, and I think if I started journaling early on in my career, I would have been profitable a lot earlier. It's also I changed what I trade. I started I was trading Forex first, and then stopped.
Oh yeah, you said you trade US30 now?
100% US30.
Damn.
Yeah.
How fast is your stop loss getting hit on those losing trades? Like 0.0 seconds?
The good thing about US30 is that if your trade isn't going to work out, you're literally, like you said, you're going to know within the first 5 minutes.
Done. It's over.
Yeah. But again, the biggest thing is like, don't try to trade US30 every day. Aim for honestly, I think like I maybe trade 5 or 6 times a month. And there isn't like specific days where I enter anything. It depends on when I see my setup.
But you're on the charts every day, just looking, right? You got to be there.
Yeah, of course.
So what constitutes a day that you say, okay, I'm getting into the market? What are you looking for?
Lots of things. So I have to have a clean range to the left. And then if we're trading in the same zone as Asian and London session, I'm not entering. That just signals that we don't have a real direction. I like to enter based off of like when we break daily levels, and then I see like retest from the daily level, and then I take the move. And I never ever enter before market open. I always have to wait after 9:30. At least for all the news to settle in, see the direction of the day, and then go from there.
Nice.
Yeah.
So do you know about ICT? Are you trading ICT? What's your strategy?
No, I trade 100% price action.
Price action?
Yeah, I don't. I heard about ICT,
you heard
great things, and I just...
We'll leave it at that. It's fine. Tell me more about this price action.
So I trade based on like how the candles look. Like I said, US30, when I come to the charts every day on US30, I just try to see where the daily levels are. And then once the news drop, if the daily levels are broken, I always have to wait to see if we come back and revisit that daily level. No, but I don't trade news. I trade after the news. Like I like news days, yes, because they bring so much volume, and then it kind of like sets the direction. But if Powell was speaking, of course, we don't touch US30 on those days.
Yeah. No, it's going both ways. That's the problem.
Yeah, it's really, really bad. And then like specific candle patterns, like morning star, evening star, I like to see engulfing candles in my directions. And that's when I enter. Stop loss is usually around like 30 to 50 points. And then I'm aiming for like 2-to-1 or a 3-to-1.
Nice.
Yeah.
US30. So that's it. You don't look at any other pair.
No, I really don't. Yeah, I really don't.
What is your best trade? Most memorable trade?
It was a buy on US30. I took it on a 800K account, like different accounts. And
funded account or what?
Funded accounts, yeah. And that day I made $35,000 on the buys. Yeah, I was risking around, my initial risk was like 2%. Okay. And then, I ended up with that. So that was like my biggest trading day up to this point.
So you said no 2-to-1 though. You just move your TP up?
So for that day, I did move my TP up a little bit because it kept going in my direction. There wasn't a single candle that closed against me.
Yeah.
When I saw there was so much volume, I said, okay, it was buys, like I said. So I said, okay, if a bearish candle closes, or like a candle closes bearish, that's when I'm going to look into cutting the trade, because that could be a reverse. And it never came. So yeah. But like most of my trades, I don't hold them for days or anything.
Yeah, I was going to ask, like, why not? Do you feel like that's something you could work on to maybe make you more money? Or are you happy with the strategy?
I think I'm happy with this strategy only because when the market closes, you never know if it's like gonna gap up or down. And then for my strategy, I'm kind of like, it's very intraday. So I wanna see it
quick in and out,
playing out when I'm awake. I don't like to hold it over days, deal with like swaps, potential losses when I'm sleeping. So yeah.
All right. And who do you learn from? Like, who did you learn? I mean, you started with IML, but do you have like an educator or someone you look up to?
Yes, I learned from Raja.
Okay.
Got his course. That's actually when I started taking trading seriously. Got his course, and that's where I learned like to just focus on price action, focus on what the candles are showing.
How did you find him?
Instagram at that time. Yeah, I feel like that's when you find most successful traders. It was Instagram. So yeah.
I'll just say this.
Yeah.
He's been a controversial name.
I know.
I'm not going to pick sides. I'm not.
I don't either, yeah.
But for those who think he's a scammer, you don't believe he is?
So here's the thing. I don't really follow him closely anymore, or any trader, just because I figured that, focusing on myself and my own lane helps me most. I don't know. Back in the day when I learned from him, no, he was amazing. Literally,
he actually
everything.
like gave you some good educational tips.
Yes, and like you could reach out to him at any time, and he would respond back to you. Yeah, on Slack. And
so, did you pay for like a subscription or
it was
like
program
or
course? Whatever? Yeah, I paid for a course. It was like a one-time fee, and then you get like lifetime access. So took that, learned that, and then just went on my own.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Do you feel like your strategy will evolve more over time, or do you feel like you're pretty set and you're pretty happy with the strategy?
It will, for sure, because there are some days where like, I wish I knew with the news that something would have happened, and then held it longer. I think I could for sure work on like holding my trades longer than a 2-to-1 and a 3-to-1. And that's always a work in progress for us traders. I feel like you can never figure it out 100%.
So your trades that you're getting in, would you say majority of them are going past? I mean, I know you're cutting it at 2-to-1, 3-to-1, but would you say after that, are you seeing your trade keep going most of the time?
Sometimes it reverses, because US30 is notorious for reversing sometimes out of nowhere. So you always have to be on your feet with that. And that's why I found like the 2-to-1 and 3-to-1 is your sweet spot, because you don't want to hold for too long, hoping that it's just going to go to like 10-to-1 magically. It might go one day, but are you looking for like quick money or consistent money? Because with consistency, I don't think, like consistent wins. I don't think that's like realistic.
Do you know your win rate?
Yeah, my win rate is 75, average 75.
Not bad.
But I don't, like I said, I don't take a lot of trades. And my losses are 100% my fault. It's like me forcing a trade, for example, or like entering too early, not trusting my analysis, and like not waiting for my setup. So, yeah.
Yeah. What is one tip you would give for US30 traders? Because it's tough.
Don't trade it every day, because if US30 is not feeling it for the day, or US30 is not moving for the day, you're going to get killed no matter what. Or like your account, you're going to take unnecessary losses. You have to wait for a clear trend to present itself on US30.
And how do you hold yourself back from jumping in when it's like maybe looks like it could be good, but it's not 100%?
My journal. I actually review my journal every, for example, October journal, I look at it every single morning just to see, okay, these are the kind of setups that I was able, that worked for me. Because it's also like very notorious for fake outs. So if you don't watch for fake hats, it's like,
Yeah, too many big candles and go all the way up and then close down.
see, and that's why I said you don't trade it every day, because stop losses aren't going to be realistic. And then at the same time, like if it's just moving side by side and you're hoping for like magical or unrealistic volume to kick in, 9 times out of 10, it's not going to work.
Why did you choose US30?
I was trading GJ and then Brexit.
So it seems like you like those volatile pairs, though.
I do. I think it works with my personality. When I enter, I want to know whether the trade is going to work or not.
You want to see some movement.
Yeah, like I don't want to be in the trade for 5 hours and then like hour 6 or 7 it ends up hitting stop loss. I want to know what's
Forex
happening.
pairs.
Yeah. And I traded GJ during Brexit and that just like kicked my butt.
Oh, for sure. A lot of people lost money.
It was so bad. So I was looking to do better for myself. And I was like, okay, let me look at US30. I know it's hard, but I know if I put the time into it, it's going to pay off. And it sure did. But I mean,
So you're in love with the US30. You would never go to another pair at
I
this point.
can add to US30. I was just talking that NAS is amazing.
I was going to ask you about that. Yeah. What are
Yeah.
your thoughts on that?
NAS is amazing. I look at the chart sometimes, but the thing is, it moves during the same time that US30 moves.
You got to pick one. Yeah,
Exactly.
you can't do both.
Exactly. And it moves really, really in like a similar way. I just don't think you could do both at the same time with how volatile US30 is.
Unless you have like some sort of trade copier or something that can just go to the other one. But then the stop loss is not going to be the same.
But then it's just, at least for me, okay, it's too much to manage. Already being,
you don't want to be stressing out over
yeah,
3 pairs.
exactly. Because when you start stressing about trading, I feel like that's when just things start
Everything
going
goes
downfall.
wrong. Yeah, what is like the biggest lesson you've learned?
In trading?
Yeah, just like your character. How has your character changed from trading?
Oh gosh, it changed on all aspects.
You're like a totally different person now?
Oh yeah, like I'm a 5 a.m. girl. I wake up at 5 a.m. every single day. I go to the gym 6 days a week. I feel like you can't succeed in trading without having discipline in all aspects of your life. And that's exactly what I've been doing. And it's just, I feel like I'm a better person knowing what I'm capable of and knowing that like if I put my head into something, I can actually do it and achieve it. Yeah, that boosts my confidence 100%.
You definitely feel like better about yourself when you're doing more.
For sure. Yeah, like I don't want to sound cliche, but like you really only get to live this life once. So are you just gonna live it sitting on the couch watching Netflix, or like David Goggins said, you're
gonna run 1,000,000 miles a day.
There you go.
Do you like cardio? What is
Yeah.
your gym routine?
No, I do strength training 6 days a week. And then if I have extra time on the 6th day, I would do cardio. But yeah.
Cardio. Sorry, David.
I know.
It's just
Love
for
you,
you.
David, though. Yeah.
Walk us through your morning. So you say you get up at 5. What time are you going to bed? Start us from there.
I go to bed at 9:30. I get up at 5, leave my house by like 5:15, drive to the gym, work out, come back at 7. And then I usually take like an hour break before I hop on the charts.
Break or nap?
No break. I don't nap in the morning. Good question.
Okay, just need to clarify.
Yeah, no, it's a break. And then I hop on the charts at 8. Mark my zones, just see if anyone's stalking that day. But I already do my weekly prep on Sundays. And I wait for 9:30 to kick in.
So you're just on the chart from 8 to 10, just looking.
Yeah, from 8, and I ideally like to be off the charts by like 1 once that 4-hour candle closes. If I can't find something, I'm most likely not going to find anything for the rest of the day. So I just like to hop off.
So you feel like you need that extra, you need to look at the charts from 8 to really know what's about to happen for your, like, what are you taking it, maybe 10 a.m. setup? You said you're after 9:30, you're looking?
Like based on journaling, I would say 85% of my wins usually happen between 10:30 to 12.
Yeah, for sure. Expansion.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, like that good overlap between New York and London. But like there isn't a specific hour that I enter my trades. And I'm on for like 5 hours every day.
So when you're on the charts, like, what are you looking for? What are you exactly doing? Walk us through that. Like, you're sitting there 8 to 10 to 1, right?
8 to like
So
12:30.
walk us through that process.
I wait for any news to drop just to kind of like see what's happening, see if anyone's speaking, any Fed member speaking, because that really affects US30. Like I said, if Powell's
sure,
speaking,
100%.
yeah, look at earnings too. Earnings are really big. I think we overlook it a little bit as indices traders, but it's really big.
People are lazy. They don't want to do the research.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. And once the news drop, you just see the direction of the day, see if 930 supports that direction. And then at the same time, I always want to see a retest based off, like I said, a major key level, like a 4-hour daily. And then I take I trade with the trend. I used to love reversals. I worked for like a month or two and I'm like,
Too stressful.
It's just not it.
So do you feel like with news, most of the time, it's like a continuation?
Most of the time, yes. Yeah, most of the time it's a continuation, especially if it's any news related to like inflation, for example, or like any talks about interest rates. But you also have to like factor in whether this move has already been priced in or not. But yeah, I would say most of the time it is a continuation with the volume that's coming in with market open, like 930.
When you're saying it's priced in, what do you mean by that?
So for example,
You mean like if the liquidity has been grabbed or something?
exactly. No, like priced in as in like the move, because sometimes with US30, if it's like FOMC, for example, the move could already be priced in a couple of days before that. You're going to see crazy volume. And then on the day of FOMC, it's just going to wick up and down. And that's it. Even when Powell gets on, it's not going to continue any momentum. It's literally just going to be wicking up and down.
Right after that.
Yep, exactly. So that's one thing I look for.
How do you look for that?
Keep up, like I said, keep up with inflation news.
Where are you getting these news again?
Twitter is your best resource, to be honest.
Who do you follow?
Like subscribe to, I think, what was it called? Trading Whales. I don't know if you know
post the
the
inflation
page.
news?
Yeah, it's like a news page. And then Bloomberg is a really good one. You just want to know exactly what's happening with the job market. You want to know whether they're going to be raising interest rates or not. NFP is really big for US32 because it depends whether like the next FOMC they're raising or they're holding. And yeah, you just gather all that along with price action because that all can happen, but then you don't get an entry, then thank you. So
Yeah. So yeah, walk me through your perfect setup. What is like your perfect, the setup that you dream of?
I want to see good candles on all time frames. 4 hour,
like long wicks.
4 hour, 1 hour, 30, 15, and 5. Even on the 5, I don't want to see any ranging or closing side by side because that just indicates that, yeah, I will be taken in, but then I'm actually like going
It's
like
like
this.
50-50 at that point. Right?
Exactly. So you want to see really good momentum. And then you also want to see, like, ideally, my perfect setup is that if I'm looking for buys, I want to see us breaking a level, the next candle breaking the high, closing bearish, and then the next one closing bullish, and I'm taking the one after that.
So let's talk about like a bad day, right? A bad day where you're seeing bad candles. So once you see those bad candles, maybe like long wicks, consolidation, are you just getting off the chart or are you committed to staying on the chart till 1 p.m. or 1 p.m.?
Yeah, I still stay on the chart. Like this
How do you do that?
Because, I designated that time of my day
It's like you're clocking in?
Yeah, sort of. And at the same time, even if I don't take a trade, at least I learned that this zone, for example, is very wicky. I'm supposed to like be careful next time it comes here. I just want to see how the candles are moving. Even if you're not taking a trade, I just feel like you can learn so much from just like the way the candles are behaving or what kind of day is it? Did we have news that day? Like, why did we move like that? Do we have news the next day? So, yeah.
It's like gathering the info.
Exactly. Yeah.
What is something that you learned from those bad days, from those consolidation days? Like, what is the key takeaway?
Is that you are human, so you're probably going to mess up once or twice. The biggest thing is once you have that mess up is to just say goodbye. I'll see you after market
Once
close.
you have your loss, yeah.
Yeah, once you have your loss, because, we're always talking about like ideal situations, but we're all human at the end where I was like, well, maybe this is it. And I know myself and all that. And then you end up entering and you get killed in like a matter of seconds. So it's just learning that if you end up taking a bad trade on a bad day, which will happen, it happens to the best of us, right? walk away, and then come back after 6 p.m. EST.
So if you lose, you lose one trade, you're done for the day?
Yeah,
That's
if
how
I
you
lose
trade?
one trade, I'm done for the day. Because so here's the thing, like I talked earlier that I was really bad with revenge trading.
Yeah.
I don't think you can 100% get rid of that, but you can work on solutions to cope with it. What's the solution? Shut my laptop and my charts and just walk away, come back with fresh set of eyes. So it's one trade, win or loss, I'm out for the day.
Is it still sucky feeling on the inside, right? To have that loss, it's like,
It still sucks for sure, but it's like a lot less than it used to. Like back in there, like, oh
better
my
than
God,
2 losses,
like,
3 losses.
yeah, like it used to be 2, 3, 4, sometimes 5, and then
It's
like
blown.
it
You get
ruins,
the email.
yeah, it ruins my whole day, and I wish I did better. So I feel like you have to make those kind of mistakes before learning that you can do better and before coming with a better system.
So when you're going into the month or you're going into the week, do you have this mindset? You say like, I'm only want to take 5, 6 trades.
No, I take whatever the charts present. Because, like nothing about trading is linear. One week I could take 5, 6 setups. The next week I take 0. So it really depends on what
Have
the
you
charts
had a
prevent.
week or a month where you took 0 trades?
Not a month, but a week. Yes. Yeah. Actually, maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. But then the week after that, I had like a very, very decent week. So
It was worth like not trading just so you don't have those losses, right? So your wins are more.
yeah, and that's like, I feel like that's the misconception about like trading full time. Just because you trade full time doesn't mean that you're
gonna
supposed to
make
be in a
money every
trade
day.
every single day. Yeah.
So for you being a female trader, what was that like? Like this is a male dominated industry mostly, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Do you have a lot of friends who trade that are
No, I just have my brother, my older brother. I introduced him to trading.
really? How
Yeah.
good is he?
He's very good. He's really, really good. Yeah.
US30?
He trades US30 and he trades oil. But honestly, getting into it, I knew that it's a male dominant field, but it's fine because like at the end of the day, there's nobody you're pointing to when it comes to trading.
I know.
There's money for everyone to be made, so
What would you say to like girls out there that want to trade, but they just maybe they don't believe or they don't believe in themselves? Like they just think it's not true, not real. I don't know. What
it
would
is
you say to
real.
them?
It is 100% real. Without trading, I think my life would have looked very differently from what it looks like now. I really don't think girls should be scared to get into trading. It's like really any other career, except it's like 100 times harder. It's very hard. It tests you on all levels, like I said earlier. But the potential and the growth, like you can put 5 years into trading and then the potential is huge. It's exponential versus any other, like all other careers are awesome and all. It just, at the end of the day, depends on like what you want to do with your life and what's your outlook on life.
What do you want to do with life?
Of course, I want to have financial freedom, which is the goal I am working on right now. I want to widen my investments portfolio, and I just don't want to be actively working for money. I want to have multiple assets that
Financial
generate me.
freedom. What is that number for you?
There isn't a specific number, to be honest. I want to keep on growing and growing. I don't like have a
No
ceiling
limits.
for myself. No, not at all. I just want to keep on growing and just keep hitting like new levels. And I know it's hard and I know I'll hit like higher lows, but
It's like your life is the stock market.
yeah, exactly. And I feel like that's the cool thing about this career is that, when you work a traditional job and then you mess up, you have your boss telling you, okay, you messed up. You're supposed to do this and that. But here it's as cliche as it sounds, but it's really you versus you. So bet on yourself, really. And that's what I do. I'm betting on myself 100%. And I know I'm not going to let myself down.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So what's the end goal? Like, where do you want to live? What does your life look like besides being financially free?
Where do I want to live? I possibly want to live somewhere in the mountains, away.
In America?
Yeah, in America, away from people. And I want to have a lot of like things in life, materials for sure, but I want to I want to take care of my family, you know, be a resource for them. My parents have worked hard their entire life, so they deserve to be taken care of and start a family. But I'm young right now. But yeah.
How old are you again?
25.
Nice. So you think you're gonna trade until you're done? Till your life is over?
For the foreseeable future, I think I will trade. It's because I enjoy trading. Like, I genuinely enjoy this career, and I love the process. I love the journey, and I don't see myself stopping anytime soon. This is something I genuinely have a passion for this career. So, like, I don't just do it for
economics major, right?
Yeah, I did economics. I don't just like do it. The materials and the cool items, they're really cool and they remind you of why you work hard, you know? But this is not why I work hard. I work hard because I see my life in like a very great perspective, and I can see myself like going places.
In the mountains. I just keep thinking, like, what state is that?
Colorado is beautiful.
Colorado.
Yeah, Utah is beautiful.
So you don't mind the cold weather?
I love the cold weather, actually, and that's one thing I had to adjust to when I came to Florida. I'm like,
oh, it's so
where's
hot.
your winter?
Oh, there is none.
Yeah, where's your winter? So no, I love the cold weather. I love the snow. I don't mind that at all. So yeah.
How much time did you spend in Egypt? Did you spend any time there?
Yeah, spent like the first we came here when I was like 2 months old, and then went back, spent 3 years. Came back to Virginia, went back, and then came back here again. So I would say I spent maybe a total of like 10 years, but not consecutive.
Did you tell us about it? What is it like? A lot of these traders haven't even left their house.
Yeah, I know,
So
right?
what is it like being in Egypt?
Egypt is really cool. It's full with like history, and it's amazing. The food is awesome. The people are awesome. It's a really, really cool country, and I recommend anyone to visit it. It's amazing.
What's your favorite like Egyptian meal? Or go-to?
A lot. I mean, I love the Arabic cuisine in general, so I love all Arabic food. It's if you ask me what's the best cuisine in the world, I'll say Arabic.
Really? Nice.
I mean, I'm biased for sure, but it's amazing. Everything's amazing.
And coming from an economics major, do you feel like what % of knowledge that you've learned from your economics major is actually being used in your trading career?
Not a lot, to be honest, because you know when you are an econ major, you learn a lot about, like, for example, international economics. You learn about micro and macroeconomics, but on like a very broad or general perspective. You don't really get into the crazy details. I would say I learned a lot more on my own than I learned in school. School is still great, if any. I mean, I finished, of course, but I'm just saying, like, I feel like right now you don't need to be an econ major in order to succeed in trading, because most of the things you could just learn by yourself. I learned about behavioral economics, which kind of understand, like the book Thinking Fast and Slow. I read that in college, and it did, at that time, it didn't help me as much, but now rereading it, I'm like, okay, this makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, tell me about that book. I haven't heard of that one.
So the book basically talks about how you have a system 1 and a system 2. Your brain has a system 1 and a system 2. Your system 1 is basically when you're like driving your car, going to the grocery store. It's the things you really don't think about. Like, you know how sometimes you'd be driving and you're like, oh, how did I already get here? That's your system 1 kicking in. Your system 2 is the one related to all your emotions, your critical thinking, your decision making. So it really teaches you how to think about your brain differently. Yeah, because you're not always operating in a specific system. You can interchangeably go from system 1 to system 2.
Would you say it's like basically the subconscious and the conscious mind?
Pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. But he puts it in that, like, the whole 2 system thing. And then he talks about a lot of like different examples of when you're in that system, what do you think about? And then like when you're in system 2, what emotions, like greed, happiness, fear, etc. So it's just really cool to think about like the dynamics of this little thing right here that controls all of us.
How do you use that to your advantage now? You try to like manipulate your mind to like be more efficient? Like how are you using that book to make your life better?
Not necessarily that specific book that I'm using to make my life better, but it helped me think that like when I am in a trade, for example, I am for sure in my system too, because all the emotion, not right now, but like back in the day, all the emotions are kicking in. It's like I see a little bit
Too
of
much
blue.
excitement.
Yeah, excitement, fear that it's gonna reverse, not trusting myself, all of that. It trains you to think that it's okay for all of those to happen, but you also have to understand why is it happening and then like go on into like fixing those problems.
And are you trading on MetaTrader or TradingView or what?
I mean, I analyze my charts on TradingView, of course use Forex Factory, and yeah, I'm trading on MetaTrader.
Forex Factory for news.
Yeah.
What is your favorite news event? And you said you're staying away from FOMC.
Yeah, not before, not after. I'm okay. Even
Just
if it moves,
not even trade
I
that
don't
day.
want them. Unemployment is great. Consumer sentiment and consumer confidence. I can't remember which one exactly.
Those orange news or red news?
Red.
Folder. Okay.
Those are red folders. Unemployment usually drops 8:30, but the other two drop at 10. And but I'm like, the market is always changing. Maybe 1 month it's going to move after those news. The next month it isn't. But yeah, I like consumer sentiment. CPI is really big too. CPI usually moves the market like crazy, and PPI.
You trade CPI?
After. I never trade the news. I trade after CPI. Yeah.
And how much do you have in capital right now?
800K.
800K? Did you ever think you would get this far with trading?
Yes. Yeah.
Very confident.
Yeah. And honestly, like maybe 10% from where I want to be with my life. So yeah.
I mean, at this point, there's no stopping.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I saw that I would get here and I would get even further. So yeah.
And what do your parents have to say about you trading? Because, your parents always have like their own script for their kids, right? They have like, they want their kids to do. They have their idea.
Really good you asked, because I have the most supportive parents ever. Good. When the approach they always take with me and my siblings is that they never forced us to do anything. So they really never forced me when it came to my career. I remember asking my dad one day, I was like, what career should I choose? He was like, it's your life, not mine. So you choose your career. I told them I'm going to trade. They were like, go for it. We support you. You're going to do amazing. I really have the most supportive parents. I think I'm super lucky.
That's good.
Yeah.
So on your come up, what were some of the hardships you had to go through?
I have a funny story to share, is that when I wasn't profitable, I decided to quit my job, and I wasn't funded. I wasn't profitable. I had a little bit of savings, and I decided to like quit my job and trade full time. I was like, yeah, I know what I'm doing. I got it from here. It was horrendous. It was really bad.
Not easy.
Not easy. You end up like making mistakes that you never thought you'll ever make, because you're really not in a clear mindset to trade.
You're desperate. You always try
desperate.
to force something out of the market.
Really good word. You're desperate. You're really desperate. You're chasing every single dollar, and you're afraid to enter every single trade, and every loss hits hard. So that was like really my biggest challenge, is that like I wanted to jump into it like really soon. It's like, yeah, I got it. I'll just like,
5 years you said, right?
Yeah, 5 years, but that was like early on to the days when I did that. And I was still in school too, and full-time student. I was doing trading, and I was relying on trading to be my only source of income. I really don't think you should rely on one source of income altogether.
You can't, yeah. It's just the rule of thumb.
Exactly. Because like it goes down, you're at 0, versus you have 2 or 3, one goes down, you're at 2, and then you're at 1, and then you have cushion.
Can't be in drawdown in real life.
Yeah, exactly. Bills don't wait.
That job that you quit though, what job was it?
I was still in college. I worked retail. And at the same time, I was doing peer tutoring in college. So yeah, that was the job I quitted. And with COVID and everything, I had a job back, focused on trading. And yeah, because I feel like you need to have your priorities taken care of, as in like your food, your shelter, your car, etc.
Before you come to the screen.
Yeah, exactly. Before you come into the screen, so that you're not cluttered, because it's really easy to get cluttered when it comes to trading. And it's really easy to get into like the chasing mindset because you want money and you want every dollar. And that's, I feel like, when you start like failing.
And would you say you're doing more 2-to-1s or more 3-to-1s?
Like more 2-to-1s, I would say. Most of the days, more 2-to-1s. Yeah.
Nice. And are you trading Fridays? Does it matter what day it is for you?
It doesn't matter, but I ideally like to stay away from Fridays because they can be very like unpredictable. You can see a beautiful setup and the next candle shoots all the way up or all the way down. It doesn't make sense.
Manipulation, you think that is?
Manipulation is crazy, yeah. I kind of like to stay away from Fridays. If I'm already profitable for the week and I see a setup, I might risk a little bit of those profits. And if I'm not profitable for the week, nope, I'm not entering on Fridays.
And what's your go-to like risk per trade?
Like 1.5, 1 to 1.5. Yeah. And that's why I really love funding companies so much is that you can have a huge account, risk like 1%, but your 1% is a good number. It's a decent number.
Enough.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah.
1.5. So why 1.5 and not 2?
2 is too much.
It's too much. You take
Yeah.
that loss of 2%.
Yeah, like 2 is too much. Things can happen, even if like everything is textbook, anything can happen. Powell can just come on and be like, good morning. And
Good morning.
Like goes,
Red candle.
yeah, like, oops, stop.
Do you
off.
watch like Powell speak though?
I do actually, yeah.
Where do you like stream it? Where do you
It's
watch
always on YouTube actually. Yeah, like I have to not have to, but I like to watch. I watch Jackson Hall. I like to watch FOMC. And if
What
I'm-
have you gathered from like watching all these news events?
is that the narrative changes very quickly. So as a trader, you're supposed to always be on your feet. Like sometimes they say, oh, there's going to be crazy recession in 2024. And then the next day, oh, like
Next day, straight greens.
exactly. Like this past FOMC, they actually said, yeah, we're doing amazing. There isn't going to be a recession. So that's why don't be like 100% stuck to analysis. You're like, hey, a recession is coming in 2024. Yeah, but what do you have to support that? So yeah, narrative changes pretty fast. So adapt.
So when you're watching the news, like what are you listening for specifically? And like how do you use that to create your analysis for what you're looking for?
I want to understand what the job market looks like because that affects what inflation looks like. Is there more money being exchanged, like or exchanging hands or not? So I want to understand what the job market looks like, and I want to understand what interest rate, what's going to happen with interest rates. Are we holding? Are we raising? And they said they might be cutting in 2024. Those are kind of like the major key things. And then at the end of every quarter, I just look at earnings just to see how those major 30 companies did. And yeah, like it's a lot of research for sure, but I feel like us traders, we get paid to actually to sit out. Like you're sitting out more than you're in a trade, and
That's the hard part, right?
Always,
'Cause
yeah.
it's so accessible. It's always there. You can trade whenever you want.
Yeah, exactly. But like if there's one thing I could say is that it gets easier with time and then like with experience, but always have a journal on hand because at least for me, that's what helped me so much. I look back at my months and I'm like, okay, so I only really traded 6 days that month, 1 loss. Okay, I'm good. I can wait.
6 days in a month.
Yeah.
But you're putting in 5 hours a day
Yeah.
on the charts.
Yeah.
The self-control. You told me you went from doubling down on your losses to now you got this crazy self-control. It's like a whole nother version of you.
Yeah, but it's all thanks to those losses. I feel like I only appreciated my losses and my all like the crazy things that happened in my trading career when I don't want to say made it, but when I started like seeing results. So it's all the losses really that taught me I could do a lot
So
better.
you want to stop burning. You just want to stop burning money.
Yeah, burning money and like burning your psychology too. At least money, you can recover that, but your psychology, once that's tarnished, it's very hard to recover from like taking crazy trades and then you hop back on the charts the next day. At least I learned now that like if I'm in a losing streak or whatever, just take a day or two to disconnect and then regroup myself and come back.
You need to though.
You have to, yeah.
What do you do to disconnect?
Don't log on the charts for like a day or two. And I just keep my regular days going. I just don't hop on the charts. I don't get tempted to make any losses back.
For like that 5 hours though, like what do you see yourself doing?
I mean, I have a lot of hobbies. I like to, like I said, I love working out. I love biking. I love cooking. There's so many things you could do during the day. And I get tempted also all the time, but let me just see what US30 is doing. And then I'm like, nope, because, you know, you just have to lose so much. It doesn't matter at that point.
It doesn't matter what happens.
Exactly. It doesn't matter. And at the end of the day, like, it's my fault that I got myself to the losing streak. Because 9 times out of 10, it's really my fault. I don't know about other traders. It's always my fault. It's really easy to be like, oh, the market's so manipulated. The market's out here to get me.
Yeah, you can never blame it on external things.
Nope.
Sure.
But like, we're those little fish swimming next to the big whales. And if we can't swim next to them, we're just going to be eaten up. So, yeah.
What do you want to talk about? What else do you want to talk about? How was your journey here to Miami? You said you took the train?
No, I didn't. I flew.
Oh, you flew. Okay.
Yeah. I flew here.
You been to Miami before?
This is my first time.
First time? Mm-hmm. What's your experience? I mean, you've only been here for...
a couple hours. Yeah.
But what is your experience of that?
It's great. We grabbed lunch and it's great. I live downtown, like I said, so it looks like very similar to where I live. But yeah, it's good. Just looking forward to tomorrow where I can experience a little bit more.
Yeah. In Orlando, how long do you see yourself being there?
A few more years, just because I'm working on a couple things there. And before I move completely,
to the mountains?
Yeah, to the mountains. Yeah, I just want to make sure I set myself first and do what I came here to do and then leave. Yeah.
And is that your sister?
That's my sister.
Does she trade?
She's learning right now.
Nice.
Yeah, she's learning.
So you see yourself being a mentor? Is that something you'd be interested in, like maybe on a larger scale, aside from brother and sister?
I don't know. I don't.
Maybe not.
Maybe not. To be honest, there's a lot of like people out there already, and I'm not afraid ever of like criticism. I just think like the industry, I don't know if you're gonna put this on the podcast or not, but like
just say it.
Yeah, you know, everyone has a point to prove and everyone's attacking each other. Like literally you and I can come to the day you're looking for buys, I'm looking for sells, and we both make money. But every time, for example, like negativity is like skyrocketing these days, and every time you log on to like Twitter or Instagram or whatever, there's someone attacking someone. I don't know if I want to like waste my energy and get into that space like that, because I'm pretty sure it's gonna affect me.
And the other thing is like, you know, some of these mentors, like they've made more money being a mentor than they've ever made trading.
Oh, and some of them never even made a penny from trading.
Yeah.
It's a marketing job more than it's a trading job, because
your personality kind of needs to fit that, right?
You have to be like a really good salesperson. And here's the thing, anyone can analyze the charts with like a few months of just learning, or even a couple months of learning, but not everyone can execute and manage their emotions or manage the risk and all that. So teaching is really easy, but are you executing? That's the real question.
Are you executing? So what was the issue for you with executing trades? What were you struggling with the most in regards to like actually sitting down and pressing the button, taking the trade?
Scared, like back in the day, I was scared that it was gonna hit stop loss. Always scared of that red number. Yeah, always like scared of losses. But I feel like as you mature in trading, you just learn that losses aren't really your enemies. I mean,
it's part of the game. Like it's gonna happen.
Even though, like, there's a really good book called Best Loser Wins. It just talks about like how even the biggest traders and the best traders are always losing. So it's all about scalability.
I've heard like some of these pro traders, their win rate's only like 30%. And it's like, they're still making it though.
Exactly. Because it's all about probabilities and scalability. Like, how are you treating your losses? Are you cutting your losses? Is your risk too big? And when it comes to your wins, are you holding your wins? Are you like maximizing on those good days? That's why I really like it, like win rate with because some people also like, I only have 2-to-1 and 3-to-1s, but some people have higher RR and probably like their win rate is lower, but it's fine because their system, it's just a game of probabilities. If they lose 3 trades in a row, maybe the 4th trade, they're going to end up like being up 2% or something. So
it's like you gotta build your system based on your personality. You gotta know yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Whether that's like scalping, swinging, or you just want to be in for the day and then log off.
Have you looked into ICT at all? Watched video, anything?
No, and the only reason I didn't is because when I heard about ICT, I was already profitable. So I don't want to fix something that doesn't need to be fixed. I already have a system that I'm very comfortable with, and it's working for me and for my personality. So I don't want to change something that's already working, you know? Yeah.
Keep it simple.
Yeah.
All right. I think it's been an amazing podcast.
Thank you.
Honestly, really. Like,
Thank you.
Your story is going to be motivational for so many people out there, especially the ladies, where there's a lot of them that want to learn this skill. Yeah. Really. And maybe they don't know where to start. So just hearing what you had to say is definitely great.
Thank you. Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Yeah. Thank you for coming on.
Yep. Thanks so much.
I'm not sure if you want to leave your Instagram, but you can.
It's Nehal Abulnoor. You'll just have to
spell it out.
Spell it because I have an iconic last name.
Iconic, guys. Yeah. But don't ask her for mentorship. Though.
Yeah, not right now.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for hopping on today's episode, and we'll see you on the next one. Stay tuned.